Hey, everybody. I think we're live
are we
now.
doing
Are
it?
we on the internet?
Are we? Are we on the internet?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I think so. I just heard the audio coming through.
Ben
on
has disappeared, though.
Yeah, baby.
Ben, where are you?
Introducing the GM,
Hey, everybody.
Ben
How's it
Whitmore.
going?
Where's your
Ben
clipboard?
Whitmore.
Uh,
I have a quick.
who's doing the intro?
I don't recognize
We just did.
Great.
GM's. Me? I'll
Can-
do the intro. Hi.
Hey, everybody. I think you should be able to hear us now. I hope so. Anyone in the chat?
Let us know in the
being
chat. We'll figure it out.
No.
This
I
is
hear
our.
you. Oh, they say they hear you, but no video.
Like, lies.
How's that possible?
Impossible.
No video.
let's roll with it.
Get Ben
Get
here.
Ben here.
Welcome to the Peak
Well, at least you hear us, and thank you for
97.5.
the shout- Thank you for the shout out that you can hear us. We have
that
never
there?
actually done this from
And
the
see
studio.
us. Okay.
Oh,
I
perfect.
think we got
and
it.
you can see. Excellent.
Hey.
Excellent.
Bing.
Trying
I don't know what to do
new
with my hands.
things.
OBS
Just
is
put
a
him
thing.
down, man.
Just put 'em down.
Well, hey, guys. Thanks for joining us.
First
I'm
stream from the
excited.
studio. First stream from the studio.
Live from the studio, all of us
It's
at
true.
the same time, not pre-recorded. We're flying by the seat of our pants.
As
I've
Will,
already-
as Will said, it's our first baby step to
Yeah.
maybe doing live episodes sometime
Yeah, we might do
in the
some.
distant future.
And the
Special.
biggest disappointment if you thought that that's what we've been doing the whole time.
That was
Also that.
right. That was my nickname in college. Was the biggest.
The
disappointment.
biggest disappointment. Excellent. Agile Monk wants to know what's on the agenda.
Hey, we want to know that too.
You
know
tell
what?
us.
This
You
is a
tell
little
us.
bit, so normally we get together on Tuesday nights to record our episodes, so we miss all of Coach's live streams.
Unfortunately.
So we occasionally pop in like beforehand, and then we have to go record stuff. But he's on vacation. Good old Alan and his fam went on a camping trip,
Oh,
which
sweet.
is
Ooh.
yeah. So he's not doing a live stream tonight. So we thought, well, why not let us give it a try?
But that was, to be fair, that was serendipitous. We
It-
had this plan long before.
Oh yeah, it was just worked. We were just assuming everyone was going to be at Alan's live stream and
Sure.
not ours. So the agenda for tonight, we have Will has a list of questions.
He
I
does.
actually do, because no one else wants to like come in with anything.
We just wing it.
We're here to take
Seat of our
questions
pants.
tonight. If you've kept up with the campaign up to this point, we will talk about the campaign up to this point.
Which
We
is
have
okay.
now filmed several
23?
weeks ahead. But
15 just came out. 23 we just.
yeah, we
filmed.
just did 23, so we're well ahead.
Mhm.
About a month or two. So if you have questions about the live stream or about the campaign or the studio, we're willing to entertain those. This is sort of like a fireside chat. So throw some questions in the comments. We're going to talk
about something.
about something, but we're all sitting around the table for the first time.
I know, it's kind of cool to have us all
Yeah.
in the studio and doing that. But I think, like, first off, we should just give Coach the whole mess of love. Like, what that
Absolutely.
Kickstarter
Pew,
is
pew,
doing.
pew,
Like, it was in
pew,
the
pew, pew, pew.
I
like
saw
1.5.
Oh,
That's
really?
the goal.
Less
It's
dice?
at 1.25.
Okay.
I
It's
saw
around
1.1 last time I
on the
looked.
quarter. So
I mean,
so
that's,
we were all
That's
taking
freaking
bets
awesome.
in the live stream launch. I was there.
That's true.
PeakD&D was representing. But I was. Am I centered in the frame? No.
you're fine.
You
You look beautiful, man.
thanks. I look good. So here's everyone has their guess. My guess was 1.435, but I think that's going to be blown out of the water. I think he's going to pass that.
Is it like a full
I mean-
poll? Do you win anything? Whoever gets
No,
closest?
I think everyone was just kind of throwing their thoughts in the chat. And if you don't know, if you're new here, I think it's a lot of familiar faces. But
What are
DC
you doing?
20. How did you find this? Tell us,
On a
please.
random
We would love
Tuesday
to
night.
know. But yeah, so if you don't know, DC 20 is the new TTRPG from the Dungeon Coach, our good friend Alan, the Dungeon Coach, and a whole mess of other people. Let us not forget. Stop pointing. Oh yeah,
DC
We
20.
put it up there. You'll see. That's a little inside joke for everyone. And I just spelled it out. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Let everyone know.
I
All right.
can't. We're at
Maybe
the bottom.
everyone else should talk instead of me. But if you don't know about the
We're like the
Kickstarter,
Brady
it is,
Bunch. I'm on the
just
bottom.
only one of the biggest tabletop role-playing games Kickstarters of ever. And it's doing really, really well. It's on Projects We Love on Kickstarter. If you haven't seen it, it's been like #1 in gaming for a few days. And it's a week old.
That's
man.
awesome.
It's crazy.
That's what I was going to say. Like, A, as I've said before, and will continue to say, like, couldn't happen to a better person. Like, there is no one more genuine than the coach. Alan is the
Cool
real
dude.
deal. But I'm also, like, my understanding of Kickstarter is, like, that first launch week, and then, like, that last week as things are closing down are the two
So it's
biggest.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious.
Nice
like, if
parabola.
if you're sitting at, 1.25 now on week 1, like, man, by the end of
Probably get
last
another.
week-
I'd be curious the percentages, like, at the last week. Of
Yeah.
What you already have, like, do you get another 20% of what you
Yeah.
have? Or
Are
whatever?
all the stretch goals met at this point?
They keep
Close.
adding them. They keep releasing. Like they have to keep adding them. So the new one
Which
at
I'm
one
sure they've
point.
planned ahead, but didn't know.
Yeah,
exactly
I think
what
it's
it is.
1.4. He's doing like a release of a full one shot with the beta is the next big.
Oh,
thing.
like a
yeah. Sorry, point
module?
Yeah,
like
point
a module.
Yeah, like a little playable one shot to like level 1 or 2. I think. I
Gotcha.
don't know exactly, but it's got like monster stat blocks, so it's a little bit of a sneak preview of what the book is actually going to be. Like
Cool.
all the formatting and all the folks who have been doing the design work and stuff are gonna weigh in on this. I think it's been something he might have been sitting on, but
probably.
Alan, he doesn't tell me all the secrets.
The
but
crossbow was the big bad of the one shot that we ran as
Yeah.
a test.
that was
I don't know if
back in
that's still the deal.
No, he reworked that
the
real fast.
pre-release. That was when a crossbow did 4 points of damage.
You're
I think
welcome.
it was awesome,
I built my whole character around that.
and we I can tell. Yeah, you're sort of like my character in our last campaign, where I just literally chucked my crossbow. That was my ranged weapon. Was I threw the crossbow. But yeah, it's so we're. We have set our current campaign, if you're familiar with our homebrewed world, but using the DC-20 system and updating it as we can. So we're sort of learning a new system every time we do it.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
true.
not new, but like updating the changes. We'll still get things wrong, and we'll
Oh.
probably be several weeks behind on the releases, at least.
At least.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Because
I mean, if
at
we-
the time of this
Yeah.
live stream,
if we're 10 weeks ahead on filming, which, like, good on us. That's
Mhm.
awesome
Yeah.
that we have that big of a bank.
Yep, that's true.
But Grand Old Dwarf, Grand Old Dwarf, I just always want to call him God.
GOG.
God.
I know.
Pockets and pits.
Specifically, as yes. And
In there he sits.
Yes, and Vortor praise us all. Wants to know how we feel about Scion going away.
Oh,
I think Max
And what
should
are we gonna
start
do?
with that question.
Yeah, what
to
are we
be
going to
honest.
do, too?
yep. I want to hear from Max.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, it's first of all, it's not going away, right? It's just being put on the shelf for like the beta or the full release. Is that the deal?
As a yes.
My understanding.
Okay.
We'll get to me. I want to hear from Max,
Oh,
our
okay.
resident sign.
Yeah.
Talk in our minds, though.
Yeah.
While
Yep.
you can.
Okay.
While you still can. Oh, he's angry.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's coming through, but man, he's.
Can we get a mic on that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I.
Hey,
those are-
Material.
I like the party.
No, I was definitely bummed to see that, but it's cool. Like, again, I mentioned how Alan is the real deal and super genuine, and so like he is cognizant of us and what we're doing, and so I think he's going to at least throw us a little bit of help
Let
in
it
that
ride.
regard. I mean, the thing is, like, with as customizable as DC-20 is, like, my thought was, like, and I even texted you about it, Ben, right? Like, since we're only at, like, second level, and the way things are designed now, if you spend 2 talents on a multi-class, you get the class feature. So the
Oh, it's
thought,
2 talents now.
well, it was the first time to get the special class feature
Oh.
that is like the telepathy mind
Gotcha.
talking. And so, we could have easily reskinned Julius as a cleric that took both talents in Scion, and we would be essentially where we are now.
Okay.
So, like,
that would be approaching it from the other way, because right now he's like a scion who has some cleric stuff.
Correct.
Because of his ancestry.
correct.
But now we're just could just flavor it
Totally.
opposite.
So that was like where I
Inverse.
landed on, like, oh man, but I was totally bummed when I saw it. Like, it was the first thing I saw when I opened up, the 0.7. It was like, these classes are discontinued.
Yep. Well, and for our
Fighter, wizard, and scion are gone.
Our entire table. He
Well,
did it.
I
He TPK'd our entire table
Did we
without
do
even
something
playing.
wrong? Did we do something wrong?
I think
Or
that-
we did literally everything too right.
I apologize
That it's like,
to our,
nope, we can't have this happen.
I apologize to our earbud users. That may have been a little loud. I'm sorry. But yeah,
not.
so
we get
I'm
excited.
so yeah, I mean,
Our levels
the
are-
Scion was sort of, we decided to, or Max decided to do the Scion because it was sort of like a unique class that Alan was touting early on, and then now there's a lot of hype about the Spellblade, which is still very cool class. I'm glad they unlocked it.
which we
but-
thought about that might
Yeah.
reconfigure.
So
need to be.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but
Drop
the new timeline is that the first issue of DC20 magazine, which comes out as soon, like right after the close of the Kickstarter, so sometime in July, will feature the playtest version, essentially the beta version of the Scion class and the Psi-born ancestry feats. So you could just have that be your ancestry and spend a few points on that table, or you can. So that as far as we're concerned, that will like interfere a little bit with our, because they're about to level up currently in the game, and we can't get to level 3 yet
Per
because we
se.
don't have the subclass stuff. That'll come out in a month or so when the 0.8 is released. So
Is
that's
that why we've just been doing shopping episode after shopping?
yeah,
episode
it's
after
just
shopping
no non-combat encounters. Where
7
your levels
episodes of
don't
shopping.
matter.
Really tired of just running errands
Yeah.
for
It's been
Paterial.
these elves.
Yep,
Partying with Paterial.
just partying with it's just like social encounter, no XP.
Another social encounter.
Yep.
Oh god! All right.
Yeah, so you got just kidding. There's a lot yet to come in our campaign. So we're sort of we are
At
kind
level
of
2.
at an impasse like right now. Like we're gonna level up and we're gonna do it with some like you'll get the level features, but the class features
Might
we're
be on the
talking.
back
We're seeing if
burner.
Alan can get us something.
Whatever, man.
But-
We sort of signed. We knew what this was.
Yeah,
You
I mean
knew
that's
what
sort of
this
what
was.
you knew what this was. We were excited to play in this new system, and when Alan told us that he was launching this, we were like, and it was we were wrapping up our previous campaign, which was in 5e, with Nick, our former member and DM who has moved on to Washington. We still love you, Nick. And then, but yeah, so he's, we were like, absolutely, yeah, we'll play test this. We'll set our whole campaign in it. So and as far as I know, we might be we're one of the only like full-fledged campaigns I've seen in the DC 20 universe. I'm sure there will be more, and I encourage everyone to please play this game, set your campaigns in this world. It's awesome.
But maybe when it's finished.
in the system, I guess maybe our world would be a little hard.
That is fair. Like, Ben, hats off to you, man, because you're like learning, you're DMing,
You're
writing
learning a
this
new system
story.
almost
Yeah,
every single
like I've always
time.
said, man, like you're telling, you're like learning a new language,
It's
and that is not
wild.
easy. Yeah.
It has been interesting to sort of like, because every once in a while we'll come back and there's a big update. Like obviously the 0.5 update was pretty huge, and then there were like some mild. There were some pretty big ones in 6 as well. Now we're on 7.7, and then we're about to get 0.8 inside of that time. So it's been pretty. Some of them are like minor tweaks. Like oh yeah, that's not a thing anymore. Like grit points was not a thing when we started this game at all. And now it is. So we're sort of like just making the adjustments and playing according to the rules as best we can. And we are trying to go through the episodes and say which version in the comments, like so know that hey, there's some things in here that aren't right. And a big shout out to all the folks who are telling us like what
Yes.
rules and stuff we're getting wrong,
Sure.
because it helps me immensely.
Yeah.
And a big shout out to King Hodop, who has been kind enough to we have a working document where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just all the mistakes I make.
But
that
like,
we make.
Yeah, rules
like
mistakes.
my thought, and I don't know if I've like spoken this out loud to you guys, but in my head, movies and pieces, like we take that because like that's essentially like a fact that
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
if we were struggling with those mechanics, like it is reasonable to assume other people are also going to struggle. So
Also,
my
yeah,
thought is
truth.
that when the book actually gets in people's hands, like we have a video that's like, oh, and check it out, like, hey, we have been dealing with this system and we have been learning
From
it for
Day one.
totally, and like this is what we
Ground
screwed up,
zero.
and this is how, like, so be on the lookout for.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
video's coming. I think that's a great idea.
Absolutely.
I've already got some ideas on like things to look when you're starting your first game at DC20. Like,
Totally.
there's been bigger YouTubers who have done videos on DC20, and all very great. And especially since the Kickstarter launch, like anyone who's anybody has done a DC20 video now.
But
Which
until
is
you've
so
played a
cool.
whole campaign around it, you don't understand.
That's
but,
also true.
like, you can read a book and be like, this seems cool, this seems fair.
And, you know, maybe
do
by
it,
the-
but then you won't see all of the nitty gritty, like what random encounters you actually come across that
Yep.
this rule actually applies to.
Yep.
Yeah,
But I'd
so
also say,
Agile Monks cracking jokes about peak DC20.
Oh,
Good job. And
Good, good.
then Grand Old Dwarf does say, like, we are the first public campaign to
Nice.
his knowledge. So good job, team.
First to market, baby.
I
First
was
to market.
angry during our monthly game when I didn't have like action points to use, and like
Yeah.
you know,
what
like,
is this
yeah.
system?
Yeah, we have a home game that's been ongoing for nigh on several versions of D&D, but many decades now at this point.
Oh, yeah.
The Wednesday game.
Like, where
which
is
now turned
Orin?
into a monthly game.
Where is Orin? I need him to show up here.
And so that
show up and
campaign is
ruin
currently
things.
playing another TTRPG, and it's in its 5th edition of that game that we won't mention here. But
Savvy.
see, and yeah, so that was It's weird for me being a player in that game, and then like running a game in DC20, and like
Oh.
Switching
it's
systems.
so different.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of things that feel the same. And again, I don't want to be like this is completely different. It is. It feels like a Dungeons and Dragons type game. It's a role playing game, obviously, but like it's truly. And I know a lot of other people have said this, but it truly is. DC20 is like what Dungeons and Dragons should have turned into. And now I don't know that it will necessarily with everything that's happened with them in the last year and a half.
They've
But
had a rough year.
it was a rough time. But yeah, so it's to me it's like okay, well, X, Y, and Z. But I think I like playing D&D. I still probably I will continue to play D&D, but I really enjoy telling our story through the lens of DC20, and I think it provides a lot. And we've done a video on this too, but like it provides a lot to the narrative. I think I feel as a game master more freedom to interpret a lot of the actions and things that are going on in our game narratively, and then mechanically it's just it makes so much more. I think it's a more satisfying system as a player, at least from what I see on the other side of the screens, is like when you can bump up those spells when it really counts, or your attacks, and just pour
Or
all of your stamina,
Or
all
sell
of
out defend.
yeah, right, like and
Like
it's
Robbie's
it's
about to die. I'm just
really
gonna use
cool.
my entire action point base to defend him.
Yeah.
No, totally. It's really
Fighters
really
can't
cool.
really do
So-
that in any other system that I've been a part of.
I'm slightly intrigued because Will did his homework or brought questions.
Oh, I have.
He's the only one who
questions.
does his homework.
I could bring it out, but
That's true, but like he's got his book.
These are just ways I'm going to screw up the rest of the live stream.
Perfect.
Hold
I
on.
mean-
Oh, here are my questions.
This is just a list of people that I'm planning on hurting.
Well, I mean,
Material?
I think. Well, I think there are a lot of questions related, but the episode that just came out is a question in itself. What is going on currently? And that kind of leads me to like, what inspired Kraken Fest? And then that's for Ben. And then what I'd like you two to think about is if you could add a game to Kraken Fest, what game would
Oh,
you
'cause-
add to Kraken Fest?
Because we've only been introduced to two.
We've only been
One
introduced
so far. Well, I guess we
Introduced
was
to two,
announced.
but we won one.
Sure.
Yeah, it
We
was
won.
announced.
What would the first
So
game
it's like
be
what?
called?
So it's a,
Attack the Castle with a Kraken?
Yeah, it's just sort of like that's like the
like
true
War game.
war game of
True-
Kraken Fest.
True day one. Let's get into it.
like
Yeah.
And
what's
then
it called?
capture the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just different.
Didn't
war
you
games.
joke? Didn't you joke before? Different war game. Didn't you joke afterwards? Like, yeah, I mean, it could have been freeze tag. I don't know.
Thermonuclear warfare?
I mean,
You want to play a game?
Freeze tag would have been interesting.
that would have been mechanically very interesting, I feel like.
Yeah.
Is that cockatrice territory? Freeze
Yeah.
tag
Oh,
kind of?
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
So what inspired Kraken Fest? There was a Kraken and you made it up?
So Kraken Fest was sort of that was my attempt at a humorous reveal to something that had started because it had just been. I felt like things had gotten
Material.
a little bit like too serious. You had just like the
You murdered the Ewok,
Ewok village.
Yeah.
Those guys were dead. Like you had found out you were supposed to kill the Oracle. And,
A lot of heavy
or from
things.
your dad. Yeah, a lot of heavy stuff. And I was just like, I felt like I was kind of like, we needed some levity. So I decided to, I was like, what if?
But you waited 2 episodes, 2 full episodes.
Yeah, I did.
Tell
I did,
us.
to let you know. So it was like, we're going to do this, and they're going to think that this town is really being attacked by a Kraken and that nobody is. So I peppered in a little hints of like the body paint and the pennants and the flags.
Sure, you did.
And like, you know, that the
But then
troops
you
were
took it very
mobilizing very
seriously.
quickly. and they took it seriously. I mean, death is very much on the line for these guys when they're doing it. But, you know, it's just like,
Teach me about war.
the city of Bronze, the city of Bronzegate is sort of like the elven military seat in the elven land. So I was like,
Their way of
Yeah, and I
staying
was like,
up to
but-
par with their military.
yeah, if they're not like actively fighting with other elves,
Then how
what
do
do they do? Like maybe they came up over the last 1,500 years with this set of games like the Olympics, or you know.
I'm sure
like-
now, like, they have clerics that we didn't see on camera that like come in and get the bodies and resurrect.
Oh, that's such a nice end bookend that would have made that way nicer.
That's not canon. That's me right now.
Yeah, no, I mean
That is not
the
canon.
casualty count is real at
Is
Kraken
re-
Fest,
yeah,
but
it's real.
maybe they resurrect those. people.
Oren's jaw's on the floor that this is a game.
Yeah.
Or I
Yeah,
think
and they all just
And
dig it
Ravi
for
was
it.
stoked. Practice.
Yeah. So that was
And
That was
Julius
sort
is
of
like,
the-
that was fine. If that's war, then sure.
Fun. Yeah, sign me up.
have we had Julius Bear Julius on the camera yet? Has he? Yeah, he did
Yeah,
at the
he's
wall
been-
Yeah, totally.
with the model.
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah,
real
yeah.
model.
Yeah, yeah.
The one I don't know if you.
There's-
Yeah, you're the one that like
This is Bear
punched,
Julius. It's one
right?
of my favorites.
Didn't you like
I don't know if you've
run
seen it.
into the tower
Ran
as
into
I
the
shot
tower.
the
Yeah,
tower?
I shouldered it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the camera's way over there. I'm not gonna.
I think you're supposed to take your nails. And,
We'll put it on social. We'll take.
You
some
could put it in
pictures.
front of their camera.
Oh God, it's a terrible idea.
Turn him into Bear Julius. Don't turn me into Bear Julius.
I can't do
Turn Max
really
into
Bear Julius.
Okay, that's Bear Julius. So that's pretty fun. I'm glad about that. I can't show any other minis because it'll give away too much.
I'm
Fair enough.
with Grand Old Dwarf that said Kraken Fest is inspired by gas station sushi.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I'm on board.
For
I'm
sure.
actually on board
sure.
now.
Gas station sushi.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
a
she
little.
did
It was
want
like
to-
half college football town, half
Sure.
like
Did you draw on your
yeah.
UF?
I did. I went to school at the University of Florida. Go Gators! And it was definitely a college. Like game days were huge.
I
It was
mean,
the whole
Boise-
town shuts down.
Boise State.
Yeah,
This is very
like,
similar.
So
To
it
the point
was,
that me and my roommate made Scream costumes that were blue and orange.
Yep.
Ooh.
We actually got a picture on E ESPN.
Oh, nice.
Like the fan pictures of ESPN. There's like 25 a week for college
Yep.
football, and we
Yeah.
were on there.
You're that Tony?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I'm that
Wait,
Otmar.
what?
That- holy moly!
That
You can't see our
awesome.
faces because we have the
That's
Scream mask.
Sure, of course.
Go
So
as
as far
far
as-
as anyways.
Convenient for the fact
As far as
checking.
NPCs,
true.
we've met General Thaniel.
Which makes me question the entire seat of power of the Inaran Empire.
Uh-huh.
That this is the guy. This is the
He's
guy.
on the General's Council. That he's like on the War Council. He's not maybe
What
the
did you?
best guy.
I mean, the elves, they live so long. We're like, they are elevated, more elevated than us. This is what I've been told, back in Para, at least. This is what I'm
Is
expecting.
this what elves have told you?
Yeah, well, did you see the ship
All the
made
elves
of
around.
leaves? Do you see the entire city made of bronze? And then General Thaniel shows up and he's like, I'm in charge? I mean, I'm not doing I can't.
Everyone come over here.
I just picture him with a huge handlebar mustache.
He
like
does
a
have a huge
Monopoly
handlebar
guy.
mustache.
Of course.
I
yeah.
believe
The
I
Monopoly guy?
described
Yeah.
him.
meets like Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah,
Meets like
exactly.
British aristocracy. of
Minus
the
all the big good
1880s.
speeches.
He's based
Correct.
entirely on the reboot of Voltron. The dude in the what's his name?
Sure.
Oh my God,
I know who you're talking about.
that's General Thaniel.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
forgot his name. He's voiced by one of the guys from Flight of the
Okay.
Conchords who played the
I remember when we first.
Oh, Marlowe's here. What's up, Marlo?
What's up,
Marlo?
Marlo?
Marlo wants to ask Oren how we wore.
How do you war?
Yeah, how do we war?
Flannel
How-
Well,
lips.
you know what? It turns well, phalanx. If
No,
that,
flannel lips.
if our group could take one thing away from this talk right now, it's that I could use my shield defender feat until it's taken away, which it probably is now, so we never got to use it. But that would be how we would war.
Oh.
That's
But how we
By the
war is like we
phalanx
go
formation.
other ways, and you're like, no, I'm gonna come in the back. and
No,
we're
my
like,
whole
nope.
character's built on defending you guys within one space of me.
And we're like, keep up.
yeah.
Well, it turns out Orin doesn't know how to war, and it turns out we didn't war at all anyway. So
Technically, not really. No. you're
No,
right.
we game.
We're about to capture the flag.
We game.
You war gamed.
We war game.
and we talked ourselves into staying. I think mostly. I
Yes,
think
we
we are
did.
staying for day 2 of Kraken Fest.
Mhm.
Yes.
Day 2 was like if you can win in day 2,
Then we
then
can go on
day
to other
3
things.
doesn't need to happen, and you can
Best 2 out
deal
of
with
3.
the other things.
As all war games, best 2 out of 3.
It also seemed prudent for like the overarching objective of what we really need to do. Not that,
Consolidate power for yourself.
of course,
I mean-
take over the Elven Kingdoms.
We're
Yes.
level
In
2.
the name of war.
We're level 2, but we're about to have the entire Navy at our disposal.
And
Probably
that's
the entire
plan.
military.
The entire seat of military power is about to be at our disposal at level 2.
Mhm.
That's the plan.
I mean, you essentially have their monarch with you, so that's sort of like giving you guys more than level 2 clout at this point.
That helps.
It's true.
Um,
But we do perform, so like it does. It's
And-
not like we're just like sitting there.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
you
know what
guys showed up.
Pateriel's adding to that as well. Does that? I mean, that's just.
I mean,
He's
he
adding
is-
so much.
So his dad's on the war council. He's like,
Nepotism.
His dad is
he's-
Daniel.
yeah, his dad is Daniel. Have we? I think that's
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
We found that out.
It
in the
did, yeah,
last
'cause
episode.
Right now,
Sorry,
currently.
spoilers if you haven't
No.
seen that.
Well,
part.
right now, Ravi is
It hasn't
currently
been.
on a bar crawl with General
of them.
Thaniel
And I
And
took
Pateriel.
Pateriel
and
on.
Pateriel.
Because as we all know, Pateriel likes to party.
Oh, that's right. I'm actually. I totally forgot. I am excited for next week's episode.
Yes.
I am excited for the aftermath.
Yes.
of
You're not
what
so excited
happens.
in character with the aftermath.
No.
of what happened.
No, Julius is not thrilled with the results.
Yeah, the
of-
poor decision making of the team the night before day 2 of Kraken Fest is not fantastic.
And Pateriel is also kind of influencing my day 2 of Kraken Fest because he added mushrooms to my.
True.
He
That's
thought
true.
you were
To my
asking
health
him
potion
for
for
drugs. He thought
I know what I know.
you were
what-
like, listen, I want you to take these mushrooms I'm going to give you and put them in this tea. I need you to bring it to my room and like leave it there. And he's
I
like,
could
"Whoa."
understand where that got
Cool,
miscommunicated.
bro.
Hey, I like to party.
Did Ben know that William was holding on to the mushrooms from episode 2 that you gave me from like a high roll that you said was like a health potion kind of
True.
thing?
No, and that's what they are. They are health potions. But
But Pateriel
Pateriel-
spiked
No, I
it.
know, I know that. Yeah. I
But
just
in
wondered
the
if Ben also
Spirit
knew.
of Krakenfest.
yeah, he was like, oh, these dudes want to get high.
Like,
So he went out to
How old
some
is Pateriel?
undisclosed location. He's a young elf, so he's like
Like me?
like-
We're same age, similar age?
no,
well,
he's
you're
like
a half elf.
yeah, you're a half elf, so he's like
Spoilers.
you're what 18-ish
In
in
elf
like
years?
in human years.
Human elf
But he's a little
years?
Doogie Howser-ish also. Like he's
Yeah.
in college, but
Yeah.
he's younger than he should be
Right,
in college too.
Pateriel is like he looks like a early
feel like he-
20s kind of guy,
I
but
feel like
he's
he kind
probably
of looks like Cartman, to be honest.
that's not how I
Interesting.
picture it. I don't know. We don't. He doesn't have a mini. I don't have an artwork.
All
for
these
him.
guards have muffin tops. I don't know what's going on.
How do they fit in their armor?
Pateriel is. I would say Pateriel's probably like 96. That's my guess.
Okay. He likes to party.
He likes
What's
to
the
party,
drinking
man.
age as an elf?
Well, so here's my theory on elves, and I think Coach will probably prove me wrong. But they grow like humans until they reach their like teenage years, and then it slows down dramatically. Like
Okay.
they're in their like prime,
So
18
they-
to 25 for probably a century or so. But they grow like regular children. Like a
Up
6-year-old
until then.
elf is 6 years
So
old.
that
This
so
is
they
the Ben
so
Whitmore theory of elves.
Yeah, that's my that they.
so they like fully
They
develop
progress.
in the same way
Yeah,
a human
because
does, and then they start slowing
I
aging.
don't think elves would put up with an infant for
30 years.
30 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. No.
I won't.
They're babies for months, and then they are.
And
they
that's
grow
So
why
it's
the
like
elves were
super quick.
exiled.
And then it's like
Yeah.
Slows
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
The slow burn.
I feel like it's almost like a vampire. Like if you get vampirism and
Yep.
as you're 18 to 25.
No isms.
Only
Vamp-
ishes.
Vampirish. You're
Vampire.
vampirish.
Vamper. I'm just gonna stop at Vamper.
Vamper.
You're a vamper.
Yeah, like the
Nice.
what? Like in Nolans and True Blood.
What's the chat?
I
what
can't
they
take
ask
all
about?
them
Well, Barlow
vampers.
says hi, and they're talking about like converting old characters into DC-20. But then Marlo wants to know how we're doing, and also if we can expect another
Not
Kraken
good, man.
Fest episode around 60.
We got to come back for
Oh.
826.
We'll have to
I
come
mean,
back.
Robbie wants to come back to defend his titles.
I
so
mean, yeah. Well,
once
that
we
hasn't
save the
happened,
world,
but
maybe that'll be like a 3-episode offshoot where we go back to Kraken
we'll
Fest
do
with
Kraken
these
Fest
characters.
826 and see how it goes.
See how it goes.
Although I realized
I'm
that
not
when,
cut-
when
or
we're
that's
all
not
like
coming
when
back.
we're
That's
finally
the
like leveled
year-
up to like level 15 and we're just like
Yeah.
demigods at that point.
so 825 is actually the year in the Vortorian Empire.
Ah.
So I don't think the elves would use that nomenclature.
Sure, they
so
wouldn't
it's
know.
they would like
Fair.
it would probably be like 2000 something for them.
That makes sense.
Like
So-
2024 maybe.
You know what? Just for sake of ease,
Let's
that's
go
yeah,
with
it's the Elven year 2024.
Let's go with
I was
it.
just throwing out a number, man. I just
Yeah. So the elves left in 545 of the Age of Ascension.
dang, they got it up early.
Yeah,
I stay up that late.
that's when Audrey Windwalker died. Was in 545, and that's when she ordered all the elves to leave. And that was
So 15 years would be 2045.
Do I have to write some of this
1500,
stuff
1500
down?
years. Yeah.
It's
was,
would be 2045.
24.
No, I
Is that
think
about
it's-
where we're at?
in stuff we already have.
Yeah.
Is that about where we're at?
Yes.
Then why is a Votorian Empire 825?
Because they
Why
reset
indeed.
the clock.
Why then?
Because you're in the
Oh, we're still at
you-
525.
this is 825 VA, the Vortorian age, which is when the
Sure.
empire was founded in 0, right, or 1. And then
Is that the same year as 525 when Windwalker?
No,
went-
it's a little later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if we're talking before the Vortorian age, would we say BVA?
Buena Vista?
If you're talking about time before.
It's
It's not BC.
yeah, it's there's a name for that period, but after, and I think it's like post ascension. It's post ascension. PA, yeah, post ascension.
Wait.
So the Aether Wars or the Ascension Wars. This is a big lore dump, you guys. I'm so sorry. So the Ascension
Are you,
Wars.
I actually
the
wanna
grin
know.
on your face.
Listen, I'm
belies
just glad I
the
have a
words
Should we
timeline
leave?
that I can
Should
actually
we
talk
just
about.
leave?
Yeah, we're done.
If you just want to talk to them about it.
Yeah. Okay. So now that they're not listening, they're all earmuffs, guys. So yeah. So there's sort of like two timelines, and the elves are on the older timeline. They would still be on VA, which it would be like the year 2000 something.
PA.
Post ascension, yeah. Post ascension, and it's 825 Vortorian age, and then before that they would probably
we,
just
like,
refer to that as like
Draw.
Yeah,
Can we,
before
Can we
the
like
Votorian
make
age.
a poster of this timeline and like put it up on the studio?
I want Ben to
We
do a
have it.
video where he's
it's on
sitting by
it's
a
on
fire
our it's
in
on
a
our-
smoking jacket.
Oh, it is okay. It's up
on our world
yeah,
Yeah.
that one. It's a good point. I should look at that more.
The timeline's on there. I updated all the
Again,
time.
I should do my homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the scheme of homework, I'm pretty sure Will and Ben are probably on the same.
I think I'm behind on some.
But I don't
NPCs.
listen. I'm not listening at all.
Yeah, we found that out the last episode.
What? Episode
look like I'm
23
listening.
is a doozy, and I can only imagine what 24 and 25.
All we're gonna say. And I think Max does a lot more homework than I do in the
Yeah,
scheme of
who's-
PeakD&D.
Who's the best note taker of the three of you guys?
I'm just saying, like,
Is anyone else taking notes? I'm horrible, but I
Dude,
might be the only one.
I started
My
taking
notes
some.
are so bad, and they've just gotten worse.
Let's read a
to the
couple.
point. No, because now like,
Okay,
they're, like
I'll read you mine.
they start.
As long as it's episode 15.
There's
or
like
before.
4. I'll read you all of them. It's fine. So this is when, let's see, this is when we were meeting the Ewok village that we
Okay.
ended up killing.
Yeah, like episode.
I was like
10 or
Lyra
11.
Star Shadow. That's the only thing I wrote down.
Yep.
And then I was like Sarala equals Julius, goddess of the moon, intuition, dreams, lycanthropy? Question mark. Found carvings depicting Sarala dreams, people turning into animals, and then I have a
Okay.
checklist that says lycanthropy is a gift from Sarala. Learn to control. And they weren't checked, but then I checked them after I talked to what's her face and Hara. And then I wrote Paterial's name down. I also have some drawings of the Votorium.
You jumped
I feel like
from
this is the
there
best.
to Material.
I feel like these are the best notes, though.
And then we read the thing,
The letters, yeah.
and it
Yeah,
said,
the
"Save my
letters.
son. Vortor will sit. Kill the elf. Stay unknown."
Yeah,
But it really is.
Vortor will sit.
but what
Fort for
Will's
it. Not
Will
Will
sit.
sit on the throne, I guess.
But Will is a name, or a name. It's also a name. Will's a word and sit's a word, so that's how I interpreted it. I thought he was going to sit on the throne, so that's why, yeah. And then I was like, Stormwall gone? Question mark.
Now we're way ahead.
Same
We're way
source
ahead.
of
Stop.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
You've gone too
that,
far.
and then it stops.
So, Azazel
Julius dead? Question mark. Why do I have that?
I don't know.
That's your wish
showed
list.
up. Yeah, it is your wish list.
Azazel.
Yeah, showed up and said that they're really enjoying the campaign. So I just thought I'd
Heck
throw
yeah.
that out.
Nice.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Thanks
my
for watching.
notes start color coded and with like names and everything.
No, you
and,
started
like, episode
strong.
2 and 3. And now that we've done episode 20, it's literally just the names of who's done the intro.
Who is next? Well, no,
we reset.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you kind of sloughed that too, right? A
I
little
did.
bit.
But dude, the only
That's
reason that
funny.
I'm doing well tracking this is because of like writing the descriptions on World Anvil, because I've been turning like all these episodes into a fictional account, like writing fiction
Yeah.
based on all that. And so that's like
Which is awesome.
taking a stupid amount of notes.
And that's why I'm like randomly prepared for some things because I just edited the one thing and then I come back
Sure.
and I'm like,
Watching
dude, did you
the
remember
episodes-
this? And you're
watching
like,
the episodes is the note taking
Yeah.
for me.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
I just
Yeah.
watch them before.
I wrote
most people.
Ravi ask his intentions and apologize for the spider battle. So if
I
I
don't-
didn't,
End of notes.
I think you did one of those two things. Yeah.
Will's
We started
notes
out
are just a
with
list of
such-
apologies.
Such promise from this party by the time we started.
What's
And
funny
now-
though, if you really think about it, I don't think we actually know, Julius and Ravi, that you are still like not the person that actually was supposed to get here.
correct. That
But
is
maybe
correct.
he was.
But
in-
maybe
in
he
some way,
was.
right?
Mm.
Depends
Well,
on
then,
who you,
then
how you
Oren
look at
also
it.
doesn't know.
Oren doesn't know that he was supposed to be here all along.
Yeah.
The hero you
Because otherwise I would have to replace Will as a player, and I just didn't want to do that.
It's true.
We have well, speaking of, do you guys have backup characters?
I have an idea for Ben. That was like one of the first things he asked us to do was to have
See,
ideas
again, bad
for
at homework.
backup
I'm just keeping
characters that
Robbie
he was
alive.
going to like pepper in and like make mention of in case things went
And
wrong.
we haven't
in
had
case,
that opportunity because no one other than Max has told me.
No, you've done that with Dragar for me, and you've done that with Paterial for me. So both of my backup characters
My
are like
NPCs
solidly in.
are just
And you did that
backup
to Shadow
characters.
King for me.
Yeah,
There you go.
pretty much.
Super secret villain.
All of my NPCs are just backups for these guys when they inevitably die.
Paterial, I won't continue with the voice probably,
I
but
mean, I just like the.
but
body
I
guys.
like the idea. I like the idea of Commander. I think it's called Commander, but it used to be what
It's
did
a
the
commander, yeah.
class? The class used to be
That's
called
a
something
Magic
else,
the
though.
Gathering game.
What
Yeah.
did the class used to be called that's now Commander? Maybe it doesn't man.
Warlord maybe.
Warlord.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's changed into Commander, but that's like a really interesting. And I'm like been thinking about Paterial a little bit, but like I don't. Yeah, again, I don't have an idea, but I love the idea
Yeah.
of playing a Commander. I feel like it's unique. Is it
Just-
unique amongst?
I just think it's like the normal response to your inability to keep us close to you, that you play the class that like forces people to do what you say.
I also got forced into that in our Star Trek one shot by accident, and
True.
and nobody listened there either. So maybe it has something to do with me.
I think it's us, man. I don't think we're good at listening.
What?
So Commander, that's where I'm going next time. I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna yell at you guys. If
You
you
could
don't listen.
potentially like
Or give
take
you like
some
a
class
Are
features.
you gonna have a coach, like a coach whistle, like
Oh God.
you
Please not the
there?
microphone.
Ravi will listen.
No.
Ravi will listen if I get the coach
Maybe.
whistle going
Yep.
on.
It's true.
But maybe we could get the sound effect like you were so good about the Jaguar for Darcel Jones.
Oh,
We don't
So,
have that in our campaign.
What, this will
Yeah,
happen
ourselves.
if I have anything to say about it. But I'm going to put it out here on the internet so y'all keep bugging Coach about it. But Alan said he would guest in our campaign.
Oh.
So I don't know how or what or when, but he
well,
said
this
he
is
would
the first
show
step
up.
to that.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
Possibly.
in theory, because if you
Or
guys
if we
are
fly him out
the
here.
tech people,
Yeah, we have to figure out some logistics. Or he just comes out to Colorado. Coach, come to Colorado and come play with us.
you
Where
can
is
stay
he?
with me.
He's in Texas. Yeah.
That's
Oh, he is?
literally
Oh.
right next door.
Yeah.
I mean,
It could not be any closer.
sort of, but we're in the West. Like those states are not It's not like
No,
we're
I
in, like
know.
Connecticut and Delaware.
It takes 2 days. I
Yeah.
had to drive. I know.
I will say there are more Texans here during ski season than there are in Texas. I think.
Probably.
But there are a lot of
True.
Texans that come up here to ski.
But
we
in-
find out you've been skiing here and not coming over to the studio.
But in
Get it.
theory, like, couldn't we? Yeah, because couldn't we just like? Because we usually when we OBS, like, we call in from
Yeah,
home,
I mean,
like through Google Meet, and so then
Yeah, we
have,
just
like-
have to get him a feed of the table and stuff so he could see, which shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
get in the comments, get in coaches' comments, tell him, hey, when are you going to guest on PeakD&D?
There's
When are you
literally
gonna,
nothing
when's your
more
arc?"
important for him to be doing right now than,
Yeah.
than to be
I know.
planning this.
This guy, he's
this
on
weekend
vacation.
getaway.
Yeah.
What's he
'Cause-
doing? He's on vacation?
Because if there's one thing he has, it's tons of time.
Yeah,
in
I
the
mean,
midst of all
what
of
is he
this.
doing?
I don't know. He calls timeouts a lot. So can't he call a timeout for PeakD&D?
Yeah.
For
No,
Peak
but
DC
I'm going to
20.
bug him about it at Gen Con. So that's going to happen.
Oh, are you gonna go? Have you decided?
I have a
Can't
ticket
just cuts
now.
off.
Oh.
So I am looking at going to Gen
Wait, you have
Con.
to put-
y'all.
put
I was
point-
actually.
point
When was
through
that
me.
again?
It's gonna be great. It's August 1st through 4th.
I was
in
actually thinking about going
Indianapolis.
too.
We should all go. Let's go.
I mean, I'm already going.
I know
know
you
you're
are,
already
and then you were
going.
talking about it, and I was like, huh, I don't have
Yeah.
anything going on that weekend. Maybe I should go.
You want to go?
I have a show. I have
I'm
a.
actually
I have a.
busy.
I have a show.
Will, you're not invited.
I have a show the weekend prior and the weekend after, but not that weekend.
Do you,
So that's exciting.
I'd
I
have
mean,
to
I
get some
can
editing
talk.
done
I'll
on
shoot Ben and Colleen a text. I don't know. I'm not trying to.
I
like-
talked to Ben the
Oh.
other day.
Oh,
and
okay,
I
great.
said, hey, I'm thinking about going. Would you have any like tips and tricks? I would love to talk to you about it. I wasn't like, can I hang out with you guys? Can I live with you?
Guys, we're
Okay.
still on camera. We're still on
So
camera.
we're still on camera. But
I mean, this is.
Ben doesn't watch this. So, but anyway, Gen Con, PeakD&D might happen. At least 50% of us are going to be there.
Yeah, maybe 75.
It'll be sweet. I don't know. I'm telling you this live.
Where
on
is this
air.
again?
You are.
Minnesota?
You are.
Indianapolis,
Oh.
Indiana.
Couldn't be any closer. Couldn't be any closer to where we are.
Just like
I
Texas.
am going on vacation to Minnesota in a few weeks.
and
Nice.
Colorado.
Indianapolis. Have you gotten? We'll talk.
Yep. So we'll talk. Well, Gen Con, I'm
'Cause
gonna
maybe
bend
we
his ear
could-
about it.
Because
if I
are you?
get to
You're
talk
going
to
by
him.
yourself, right? No.
At this point, yes.
Yeah, so maybe we
Yeah.
could get a hotel.
We
room
could get
or
a
something.
hotel or an
Anyways.
Airbnb.
Or that.
Yeah, I'll shoot text. Yeah, we'll discuss. We can discuss that after the live
Yeah.
stream. All
Put
the
us
details of
put
that.
your hotel recommendations
In
the
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis area in the comments.
2-star hotel, continental breakfast.
Word. Yeah. Hey.
Strip
I
club
One
nearby.
of the continents. All right.
For breakfast.
So what else? What else do we need to talk about? Will get on the any questions in the comments coming in?
Get on the
No,
bus.
no questions.
Great.
What type of player are you guys? I feel like
Clearly, we're not listeners.
I feel the video that came out, was it the players as puppies or was
Yeah.
this a short?
Oh,
You
yes,
talked
players as
about being a
puppies.
chaos gremlin, was that it?
No,
I,
that
I
wasn't
believe
us.
I did call you a chaos gremlin.
No,
And
no,
John a
no,
chaos
not
gremlin.
me. This had nothing to do with me.
Oh, yeah,
In the puppy lore, though, what is Will?
a chihuahua.
Right?
I
No.
don't know
Can't
if we had.
remember.
Yeah, was it a Chihuahua?
There was a
It
chihuahua one.
I'm trying to think if that was the one that was like the
Chihuahua
mischief
one.
maker.
There is an aspect of
Brian.
that for me for that.
Yeah.
But I also think that I'm a little bit of the trying to find liking the big descriptive, things so that I can find some way to be unique in dealing with it. And I almost feel like that's me pulling my Monkey Island background out of things. Like, I'm going to need this, random item 10 episodes
Max
from
has a
now.
little bit of that in him. I also feel like you also love, like, when Ben talks to himself, you're just like,
Oh, the voice. Yeah, I'm a good listener when Ben's doing voices. If you want me to listen,
because
just do it.
every single time you're like, no, keep going.
I'm not
It's
taking
happened
anything
twice.
in. I'm not taking
It's
anything.
happened twice when I was editing back, and you're just like, no, keep going.
Yeah, I think Paterial and his dad had a conversation, and I was like, I'm just talking to myself. I need to stop.
You
I
love
mean,
it,
I was
though.
watching some of the videos. I mean, we did before I joined. Everyone had voices, and maybe we're
True.
playing characters and mannerisms. But right now we don't have voices. But I've been amazed at everyone's voices and how bad I am when I came in to start doing some of the shorts with you. I thought I was good, and I'm horrible. But I'm also very amazed. I know you have a theater background.
Giancarlo's not bad.
Yeah, man.
That's my backup
Theater
character.
kids, yeah, theater
Awesome.
kids and
A trade
RPG
hairdresser.
kids are a very that.
It's a circled
if
Venn
you
diagram.
were to put it in a Venn diagram,
seen-
it's just a circle.
I've seen that reel.
Yeah, yeah. I've also been on Instagram a lot, sending PeakD&D a lot of Instagram things that I think we should put on our feed, on our story.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I just keep sending
Okay.
things to the
Okay.
Instagram account. Because that's
Why does Ben keep sending?
I'm like, oh, a chat. Oh, we got a chat. I was like, oh,
It's
it's just
just-
Ben sending himself stuff.
I
sending
do
it
too.
to
I send
PeakD&D.
PeakD
I saw
once in a
that.
while.
Put it in our feed.
Oh.
but
That's why I
never get
send
to the
it.
next
Oh,
step.
tell me.
That's why
Yeah.
literally anything that comes from us to
Okay.
the PeakD&D account is like just repost it,
All right. Okay.
right?
Yep.
Essentially,
Write that-
Write that note.
Write that down.
That goes in the notes.
Ben and Tony are helping.
Insta-feed. Listen, we said we were
Alright.
going to try more on
So what
social
kind
media.
So what kind of players are we?
Yeah, what kind of player are you?
What kind of player am I? I've always thought that I've gotten a lot better since being on PeakD&D. But I've always been a mechanical tactical player. Like I'm more mechanics, dungeon diving, than like the storytelling.
He means peak DC 20 if you're not paying attention.
Yeah. Sorry.
You can
my
point
arm-
this way. Point through me. Yeah. You got it. You literally got it.
You did it. Nailed it.
Good job.
Nailed it.
Fantastic.
Except my wow, look at my arm. My arm like travel. Look at that travel.
Jesus. Vortor.
Holy Voltor.
Does that
Please
mean like
Vortor.
min-maxing? Is that
Not
like
no, not min maxing, but like I'm more like war based, like or not war.
I'm a
but
war guy.
I'm a war guy.
Yeah.
That's why the games are so
Yeah.
awesome.
Robbie likes war.
Um,
you want to be
I'm just more of a
in
I'm a more of a tactical player than a role playing player.
DC
so
20
I
lets
like-
us move around a lot more, I
It
feel
does.
like, which has been great too for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Potentially.
But
Totally.
then when I played Gord on our first stream is when like the role playing of me kind of like elevated a little bit more, and I really enjoyed that part because like whenever we played our games that weren't on camera, I struggle with role play and with games, so I usually didn't talk or I would like. That's why one campaign I literally made a mute girl that didn't talk and did min max her out because it was awesome.
Now, we would
But-
use Gord in a one-shot for DC 20, but Gord was a paladin, so that's not
That has to
gonna
come out.
Mm.
Or will it ever? No.
Ooh,
probably
low
not.
blow.
But cleric
Yeah.
has a
Eventually.
like a subclass that's
Helm,
Well,
help me.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Spell Sword it doesn't have like
Yeah,
some
the
sort
spell
of
blade-
divine or
Something
something that-
divine flavoring,
Totally.
if you will.
Yeah, I think that sort of
Does helm
It's
exist in
truly-
this world?
no.
No. Okay.
after traveling in Portugal, I just wanted to be a paladin. I couldn't figure out how to make Orin yet into a paladin. It doesn't make sense necessarily.
I
but-
feel like it's close as far as the physical side of things.
Yeah.
Certainly
there
not
was
the
a world
divine,
where
but
you were going to become where you could potentially become a paladin of either Vortor or
Robbie.
Inara
Or Ravi.
or Ravi.
Yeah.
bodyguard.
Otmar.
Yeah.
Otmar Paladin. The
Not-
Paladin
not
of
the-
Otmar.
Ravi Ascension question mark?
Yeah. That's the way that we end most campaigns in our off-camera games. Is just we turn one of us into a god whenever the opportunity arises. We're like, oh, we have to like stop this one god from ascending. We'll just take their place. It's fine.
I can't wait till we get like a 3 Wishes episode.
No.
It's not going to happen. Never. No, there's no
No.
such
We got
thing.
close to that with the Oracle. I
Yeah, we
mean,
got
were
3
able to-
question episode.
I don't think
which
we
was
were prepared
close.
to ask like big, life.
I think all the questions we landed on were correct.
Yeah, I
though.
like the
I
question.
think I asked how my family was
so.
doing. So
You
I think
did.
you guys had big questions.
It's true.
Like, so is everything cool?
My
Back at the
mom okay?
shop?
Yeah.
My mom okay?
How's mom doing? What
Matt-
they had for dinner?
Max, what's your style of gamelay? Or
I
what
mean,
kind
I
of
think
player are
I'm
you?
with you. I was sitting here listening to y'all and just kind of thinking about that, but definitely tactician would be up there. Like role playing. So to your point, Will, like I've been playing these elf games since middle school, and that like Triss for the campaign 2 was the first time I have ever done a voice. Like voices were just never
No, you talked about
part
that to me.
of
like
like
how-
any of the groups that I played with, like back in Ohio, like anywhere. And so
And you went midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
I
You
did.
just went for it.
I mean, that's what I did with
yeah.
Gord.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the second Gord came to me, I was like, he's a southern palate. Like, that's who he is.
Hey,
So I'm going to need to
root
hit the accent.
vegetable farming.
Root vegetable farming, helm
Or-
loving paladin.
That's right, man.
Now I know where my backup character needs to go.
But I think, yeah, because like being, yeah, like I don't like losing. I don't like dying. Dying is a hassle and annoying. Like through like you used to lose Constitution and you used to lose levels and so because I hated dying so
that's fair.
much, I was just like,
The
okay, man,
consequences
I
were
want to get
huge back
good
then.
at the actual like nuts and bolts of like in combat. I want to
Stay alive.
triumph. Yeah,
So-
dude.
so-
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as a
Yeah.
question
Yes.
though, that's resurrection, right? Resurrection comes at a
Well,
mechanical
It depends on
cost.
what edition
how
are we
extent-
talking and what
and
games
what
are
ex-
we
That's
talking
very
and
about?
what extent are you dead.
In
Yeah.
DC-20, is there resurrection cost?
Dude, we don't even have
We don't know yet.
we didn't have second level spells.
Coming
let
in
alone-
beta. Coming in beta.
yeah, like let alone 7th level spells.
I still don't think I can die. I feel well.
think
If
you
we
should-
play
I think you
0.6
should.
I
rules-
was this close.
If we play 0.6
and you
rules,
did die in the before the campaign.
Oh yeah, no,
You
Yeah.
100%
So-
died.
You know,
Literally
full
undying.
disclosure.
unbreakable,
Unbreakable.
unbreakable, undying.
Full
action
disclosure,
surge,
I have
stamina,
never
second
run
wind.
a campaign in DC-20 where someone hasn't died. So, that's
But undying is just against the doomed condition, which
I
I've
do
still yet
have-
to see what
I
that
literally
means.
have right
Yep.
here written: try and kill us all.
Try and kill us all.
oh, I could.
I thought that would
just-
be another way to do a live stream if we just like let's just go all in,
Yeah.
Ben. Just
This is my
bring us
Thanos moment. Fine, I'll do it
spiders
myself.
with crossbows. Just come at.
8 crossbows. I guess they could only have 6. They'd have to stand on a couple legs.
Yeah, they have nothing. It's just crossbows.
I think they would
for
only have
legs.
4.
That's it.
2.
So crossbows are much
Oh, 'cause they're two-handed.
nicer now. But I accidentally
Two-handed
because
stand on
It
foot.
left an effect in me.
it did. It did. The way that it happened was it was
Basically-
early rules. It was 0.4 rules, and
Crossbow did 4 points of damage.
and you had the lowest possible.
I intentionally put
Stamina.
-1s in
Yeah.
in might and
agility.
Yeah.
just to see what
What
would
were you at?
happen. We
3 hit
playtesting.
points?
I think I had
4?
4, something like that.
Yeah, like 4 or 5. This is before you got
So
like
1 hit from a crossbow, you're
you're-
already at 0.
yeah,
Yep.
and it was a critical hit,
Yeah, and it was
and it was brutal.
Yeah.
Were
So it
those
was
the
like-
characters though
like
that you
7
brought in that that Alan
No.
had like presented?
I played the characters out of the one shot that
Yeah.
that I
Right.
had. It
Yeah.
was like, and that it was like you guys go into this cave and there's another party of adventurers who are trying to stop you. Essentially, is what it is. And so there was like player character versus player character,
sure.
and they had full like stats and stuff. So I was like, okay.
Did
let's
we
play
film
with you.
that?
No.
No, we did not film that because I think we were just gonna play, and that was.
Yeah, because that was like the first time we'd ever messed with any of the rules or done any.
I
of
don't
the
think we had
things,
decided that we
and
were
so-
going to continue with the like try. Like this was just let's try and see what happens.
Yeah,
here.
I think it was like, hey,
See
can
the
we-
fluidity, see how it works,
Yeah.
see if we can just jump in.
Yep.
I mean, better. Yeah,
But
we've done enough fumbling. On
also, I think we had
It's
planned
true.
to do it. I think, but we were just like, let's do a combat so we know what the
Yeah.
hell we're doing.
absolutely.
Circling back though, but to your point, as far as your tactician play style, I would definitely attest to that because I feel like during battles, like your threat assessment
Thanks.
is like it's similar to when I play Magic and like someone is at the threat, but then everyone's attacking somebody else.
Sure, the survivor
and
rule.
a couple of the players I play with are like very threat assessment like driven. They're like, "What are you doing? Like this is gonna kill you."
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how you are in combat sometimes, especially with some of the players we've played with. We're just like, "How
Oh,
are you? What are
dude.
you? You're gonna kill us all, and you're doing terribly in this battle. What's happening?" So then you are like, all right, I guess I have to pick up the pieces and use my last spell slot on this stupid spell because no one else will do anything.
Well, I think I take that compliment. I will.
Yeah,
I will
it is
attempt
a
to let that
it is a
land.
compliment. It is a compliment.
Yeah.
But it's just from an outsider perspective that I would agree with that. Yeah, you are like the threat assessment and try to get the biggest threat off the board as
Yeah.
quickly as
Like,
possible.
let's try to win this game. As much as there's not like a win, like you can't.
Yeah.
Let's try not to die in this.
Yeah.
Let's try not to die in this session.
I think there's been like I can't remember specifics, but I think there's like 1 or 2 examples in the last 10-ish years we've played together, where like someone actively did something that put you like in imminent danger, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Those are my favorite sets.
Guys, I'm sorry.
You're just like, I gotta go get this. You're like, I'm literally gonna get eaten by this
Like,
demon.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, but
And
there's
I'm a
like pile of
wizard with
coins.
2 hit
Yeah,
points,
yeah.
and you're the tank.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You're running
Sure.
away from combat. Combat's not over.
Yes.
Gord, that's a dead body.
I kind of want to do the like the football replay where we like pause, we now
We've
look
talked
top
about doing
down.
similar
we do top
things.
down, and now we're circling things. Like, you see how the
That would be
wizard is
great.
over here right now?
There's like 3 combats that I immediately think of in Into the Fae that we could absolutely do that because Gord is like one-track mind in that and learning, and it was hilarious.
Gord was also built to end battle. Like,
It's true.
he
But there was the one where the choke point, there was like 3
Oh, it
skeletons, and I just
worked.
ran through them, and
Yeah.
it let all of them out. And I was
Yeah.
like, whoops.
Yeah.
They're like, and now the warlock and the rogue are fighting
By
off the
themselves.
skeletons. I remember that one combat that we did in the it was in with the animated armor, like in that room that we kept going in. And we
That
were
was,
like,
I think that's the one I was.
was that the same one?
I think it's the same thing.
Oh, it was.
Sorry,
so
it wasn't
terrible.
skeletons. It was animated armor.
Yeah, yeah. We were trying to like.
Because I think
You
I
and
went
I
in.
had like posted up to like choke point at the door,
Yeah.
and then Gord's like in there, and then they all like moved.
And
then
just like
it
one
was-
5-foot step, and it all goes.
Yeah, because I
wrong.
think I hit him, and then my thought was, tactically speaking, was a good idea is to get out of the way so you guys could hit him. But
Sure.
Yeah.
they were next, so it actually just let them come through.
Yes.
It was a
And
wild
it was
time.
awful.
It was a wild time. 5th edition was a
And then,
heck of a
like,
time.
half a round later, I was like, ooh, I should have done that.
But see, the important thing is, but here's what I will say is that like you realized,
Yeah.
and you have learned from that. Like you
Yeah.
have not done that
Yeah.
since.
Certainly tried not
Was
to.
that a?
It was also
that
kind of a Gord character situation, too, where, like, the naivety of the, my character would do this. Situation of, like, yeah, he would get out of the way so then someone else could fight,
Yep.
but he just was like, oh, that was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Was that
Tech-
Beyond the Fae? Was that like a Nick dungeon, or was that a?
I can't
Ooh.
remember. Maybe it was
I don't
Beyond.
think so. I think it was
Was
pretty
that
early
still
on.
into the Fae?
I think it was into. Not
Yeah, we did-
Beyond the.
So we've been doing this for several years now. My gosh. So we have
3
some
and a
other
half?
campaigns that we've done. One of them was playing Luke Hart's from the DM lair. Luke Hart his module into the Fae,
That's like old now.
and then we did another one. I know. It's like, that came out like 5-6 years ago.
I will say every
think
once in a
3.
while, like every couple months, we'll get a comment on one of those first
Oh,
videos.
Oh, really?
That's like, hey, I
Nice.
just picked this up.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
people are still getting into the Fae.
I-
think it was part of his last Kickstarter for.
I have a soft spot for that.
His last one.
36 episodes.
Oh yeah. It was
That was
fun.
so much fun.
super
Storytelling for just the characters and Nick and Luke, for that matter,
Oh yeah.
was
The campaign-
just phenomenal.
Our second campaign was a lot of fun. It was I think it was
Also true.
it was a long burn, like it was gonna,
It-
but it had to
like-
end really fast. So it was sort of like
I'm
It
super
was-
sad. So like Grand Old Dwarf has been in here throwing out like all sorts of things, which I think are awesome. Like talking about 2E characters and making like
Nice.
paladins that are mafia hitmen just to prove
Yes.
lawful good stuff.
That's
yes.
cool.
But like the thing that makes me the most sad about that is like Nick is so well steeped in the lore that like that campaign was pretty much just gonna like trace through like the history and the
time.
lore. Yeah.
of D&D time.
Yes, and like it's too bad that it never got like to be.
It's
never
20,
never
it's
got
20
to be.
level campaign.
Yeah.
We only get to level 8, so who knows in DC20?
That's
We're going to be level 2 for a long time, so
it's
Elf years.
elf years.
It's elf years.
It's elf years.
Yep. If we make it past
I
level
mean,
8, we will
It's
have
true.
made an
We're
accomplishment.
DC20 elf years right now. And we're in the elf. Yeah, that makes sense.
In the
Time moves differently.
in the vein of people
Boy,
like
does it.
just now coming into contact with that Into the Face stuff,
Mhm.
I saw a Reddit thread
That's how
about
you got it to
DC20.
us.
How did I? My wife introduced.
Oh.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. How I got in touch with you guys. I thought that's what you were
Through
asking.
Into the Fae.
Was
Or
I-
during that
no,
time.
No, my wife was touring this building
'Cause Ben and I
because
were
she's on the
here
art. She's
for the
on the art
grant.
board.
Oh, that's
And she
right.
said there are these nerds
That's
that
right.
have a YouTube Dungeons and Dragons thing up in the attic of this space that we're touring. You have to meet them.
Go
right-
play.
Yeah, get out of here.
Go find your people.
make some friends.
And I
get
got
out
in
of
the
house.
Discord and I said, I will do design for you. I will do lights and whatever. You don't need me to do anything, it turns out. But it's like, I'll do any of this stuff.
social media.
Not true.
But you said,
And
come
graphic
hang out. And I
design.
got to be like live. I got to be the live audience
Audience.
member, which is like a dream come true for me. Coming from like watching Critical Role or Dimension 20 stuff. Now I'm sitting here drinking a beer while you guys are playing the game. I'm like, I'm the studio audience. This is so cool. There's lights. I mean, if you look at this thing, this looks
Yeah, it's
legit.
True.
It's-
Maybe it doesn't feel that way, but it looks that
No,
way.
I feel.
It's
Oh, okay,
constantly.
I like it.
I'm just
It is
kidding.
It's cool.
constantly evolving. I should probably do another. Once I have so many more ideas.
Of
but
course you do.
I should probably do another studio tour.
Well, we
video
have
sometime.
another that camera, right?
Yeah, but I can't.
So what
I
if-
can't change it right now.
No.
Just zoom
Not
and
right
just
now.
do the three-
But
I
what
thought
if-
about that.
what
with
if-
the battle cam, just like,
Just do
But what if there was a? What if we chose like a situation or a episode where we do have a static camera like on top that just shoots down, like from way up, just to show the entirety of what's going on,
Yeah,
like
there-
the whole studio with the green screens
mean,
and
we
the
could-
lights and the.
I could get a GoPro up in the rigging and like. That was actually it's the
But-
second time I've heard that today. Like somebody who just came upon the channel was who like comes here sometimes, like
Oh.
to the makerspace
Gotcha.
downstairs. Was like, he's the person who told me that there's a comic store or a game store
oh,
over in like Fairplay.
Oh,
And
yeah. I
in
know
South,
about
be
in
that
any
one.
South
closer.
Park, Colorado.
Any
There
closer.
is a real place called South Park, Colorado. It's like a
If you
old
guys don't know,
historic
but it is.
place in
What are we?
that town
20
called
miles?
Fairplay.
20 miles away?
Yeah, we're like 20 miles away. It takes about half an hour to get there.
I went to Casa Bonita a couple months ago. I
Yeah.
just got my email for them. actually.
Casa Bonita's real.
nice.
Take me. Are we
We're
going?
not
We
invited.
can. Peak D&D, Casa
Is there a
Bonita.
trick?
Woo! That would be great for the social. Just saying. We'll go to
True.
Casa Bonita.
Who's going? Who's diving?
We're doing it.
Who's diving?
We'll go. Hey, we're
don't think they're
Instagram live from
Casa Bonita.
What up?
We can take our picture against the big. big
Anyway, but he
apartment.
was like,
It's great.
I think you guys need like an overhead view of you. He's like, are you guys all at the same table? And I was like, yeah, I think that's fairly
I mean, should we just do
obvious.
this more?
just like slap each other. Like,
There it is.
I mean, sometimes when Ravi is moving around, depending on the screen, it's not
yeah,
as.
but I was like, it would be cool to like cut away to a different. It would just be recording
blimp
one
shot.
more source, and I
It's
don't
true.
know how we would do that. But
Live from Traffic Copter 5.
So here's an
Love to see
idea. This is crazy.
now we're in our planning session portion of the live stream.
This is our planning session portion.
Yes.
So what if and when we ever get comfortable, I don't know if this would be too much for the computer though, is if we record a session like we usually do,
Mhm.
but then the live stream part of it, maybe the first iteration of that is just an overhead view of the session and we just live stream it and we push play and we leave it alone. No editing, no nothing.
People can stare at the top of our heads the whole
No,
time.
no, no. See,
the
my
bald
thought
spot,
is like
no.
to put it over there.
Oh God, no.
My thought is to put it like up top over there, zoom in a little bit so you can see all of this, but you see
Or like-
us and it's not just.
Well, we do have
use
the
the other battle cam.
that
Yeah,
one's
That's
if
what I'm
you
saying.
put it where the
Yeah.
monitor is with the two-headed dragon.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Like
you
out
put it up there,
over
zoom it a little bit so you can see the setup and hear us with the audio.
Or maybe we do that before we start playing, like just so people can see like the pre-recording, like
Ooh, I love those.
like
I mean,
yeah, just like
You
get a
wanted,
vibe.
you wanted to turn on the live stream as we were like frantically
our
trying
best
to figure
content is the 10 minutes before we start recording.
You're not,
That is
or
our
the 10
best
minutes
content.
after.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. I have them all. I've
I
uploaded
was
all
gonna
of that
be like-
content
I was
No.
gonna be like
to
"Hey,
you.
this is
We're
written
sitting
out."
around the table doing our stupid fucking audio test,
Tony's done the work, and then
and
out.
I I try
wait,
to.
is that true?
It is true.
Yeah,
it
because
is
I
true.
upload all the outtakes
It
to
is true.
to
I
there.
can barely get the current social,
Well, to make you feel better, Marlo,
and I forgot.
Marlo
And it's
even
way more
said,
than we used to have.
I feel like Will's design work has really helped the look of the channel.
Awesome.
So
We
there
agree.
go.
We absolutely agree.
So
Because he's done, all the overlays.
Not to
Our
mention
new logo.
socials.
all
There's
the
a hidden.
socials.
I don't know if it's on the live stream, but there are hidden notches in this like wood idea.
If you
here
haven't
right
noticed
now.
that yet.
Oh,
yeah.
there are.
And so
I think
there
it's
are
on this one.
homages.
All right now, too. It's everywhere right now, too.
There
Yeah,
are.
like Kane is
Well,
up
maybe
here
some,
somewhere.
right?
Yeah, there are some homages,
up there.
and then
There's like a
as we
rope.
cut to the different ones, some homages to different campaigns, and then there's one hidden Easter egg in there too. When I visited the Hag Sophia, a Viking had visited and etched his name, literally like Grog was here or something, and etched his name, and I found that. Got the Photoshop in, and that's also etched. So, like, the original Viking that etched into the Hag Sophia
Nice.
is also etched into our
Awesome.
wood, which
Into
is just
our
another
wood
Easter egg.
Awesome.
Which dates back to.
Which nobody's mentioned yet. I don't know why. people-
Well, they're about to.
why don't people get it?
Is
Why
that
don't
in the
people-
Hagia Sophia? That's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, weird. Oh, that Viking guy that was there.
I was
Oh,
just there like
I mean,
4 days ago.
Which I think goes back to Nick's original idea of the Rose Thorn Tavern
Oh,
being
yeah.
an iconic multi-planar thing that will always
Yeah.
kind of be.
This is like the bar.
That's why it's called that in
Yeah,
our
this is the
Discord, the
bar
Rose Thorn
top.
Inn.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the tables or the bar top at the Rose Thorn Inn where all of these adventurers have come to the Rose Thorn and just like put their marking on it, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
So
So that's what the
since we kind of got into it, I thought I might as well throw
I
the
think
rest
it's a
of
great
it.
thing to talk about. I love it.
It's super cool. You did a really good job designing that.
Thank you guys.
I think that's definitely helped the channel. So I
Yeah,
agree, Marlo.
I did do. I said I put out a
Marlo's
list of
been-
things I
you've-
could do, and I guess
Marlo's
I did do
been
something.
No,
here
graphic
for-
design was like number one.
Oh,
that
since
and
Indie
social
Social.
media.
So when we were talking about, like, Marlo chimed in with, like, I think that was Into the Fae when you were talking about
Oh,
your
yeah. Marlo's been
tactical,
Tactical-
error.
yeah.
Yeah.
since
I think
the
it,
beginning.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. Marlo's been there. He knows all.
So there's a Reddit thread about DC20, the Kickstarter launch, and all sorts of new people have come in and are interacting with this content for the first time. I think that there's a lot of people in our channel who've been interacting with it from the beginning. We've obviously been interacting with it a long time, but it's very interesting to see a lot of people coming in having some of the same initial questions that we have. And one of the ones that I think that was voted up toward the top was like, not really a question, but like, hey, it looks like there's a lot of things I can do. I think after they went through and created a character and said, I think I'm going to make little action cards for all of the things I can do. And that led me to my question of like, how do you organize your player?
Kinda like
We
spell
have
cards.
all kind of made action cards.
It's true.
I think so. Like that person's intuition is right. I have my maneuvers
I have
color
my
coded
spells.
and listed,
I
and
have my
I'm using
spells.
my action points and stamina points. I have little tokens that are action points, and then I have 2 colors that are different, and those are my stamina points.
Which Alan
So-
made. He's made the action point little thing that you can
Yeah,
get
there's-
along with the.
And it really helps. It helps you just tick
I think
the
it's
stuff
magnetic,
off.
right?
Yeah, it's like a little magnet.
So you just like,
clicker.
yeah, you just like go up and down or however you want to do it. So.
Yeah, so
See,
what?
but, like, this for me is like goes back to just the way
That's true.
that I retain information. Like I
for sure.
need to write something down. Like
Are these
if-
just spells here? What is all
no, these are
this?
spells and actions. Like here's like Hulk out for the bear and like mind blast and like powers. But basically, it's like all the
But the act of
non-
writing for you is the
Exactly.
thing, because like for instance D&D spells, like you can buy the cardboard box that has the
Right,
thing
but-
in it, but you need to write it down.
yeah. In order to like retain anything and remember it, like if I write it down, I will have a 90. I mean, that's the 90% chance of actually remembering it.
But
And then it
helps
just
a
makes it
lot.
easier to
Helps
be like,
everybody.
oh, here's blast. Okay, well that's all the pertinent information. And
You write it down verbatim, or you kind of?
no, I put it in my own words.
How do you keep track of your action points and like mana points and?
Well, mana points. There's this handy little thing on the sheet right there that says mana points.
And you just cross them out
and
like
I
normal
just-
and
people
do you use
and
it
write
just-
the new number.
Do you use it? Wait, you
That's
guys
the
have a
old
sheet?
character sheet. That's the .7 one.
Oh,
Point
Maybe
6.
I think I
Probably
have the
0.6.
0.5 or
0.6.
something. I
And then,
use
and then for action points, are you using a D4?
Oh,
I use
so
a D4.
Randall Dwarf says that he has, class feature cards available on
Oh.
the
On the Discord?
TDC Discord. Yeah,
Oh,
on the DC20 chat thread.
I need to go get them. Email me.
I mean,
Just-
is this
just
not
go.
is this just not
Just-
good enough?
Just
Print
go there.
them out and send them, please.
No.
P.O.
I did
Box.
see-
no, stop.
I saw that you already posted on DC20 chat that Alan's gonna guest star on PeakD&D. So
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Grand Old Dwarf. Get in the comments.
G
people.
O.
Well, then
D.
we'll
Gonna
keep it.
happen.
We'll keep it. If he comes, we'll keep it. Okay.
But action points, man. There's only like 4. They're not that difficult for me. to track.
I just have I have a D4, and then whenever I use it, I just switch just so I know.
Yeah, you count them down.
Are you using most of your action points on your action?
I
though?
do.
Yeah,
I don't have a ton of reactions. Like there's the Scion
But also-
body slam
yeah.
maneuver, where you can like I could grab someone and make them a shield.
But also to that point, reaction, you get your 4 back at the end of your turn.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you use something and Turum that, then you can be like, I used one. Then you get to your turn and use
Totally.
it.
So then you have less when you get. to
You're
your
a different
turn.
story because you are a defensive fighter build. So you,
I'm always taking actions off my turn.
yeah. So you need to have a
Yeah.
current
Yeah.
account when you gets to your turn of what you have left.
I mean, something that like I do admire about the way that you play and your character is that you do have so many reactions and
And you
does-
utilize them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't just
Like,
sit
it's
back
a-
and be like, oh well.
It's a cool way to play.
Not that I'm not excited for. I'm not excited for .7.
Double negative.
But don't take away my defensive maneuvers.
But things become more adaptive and less like set in stone, and I think some of these things are changing. So I wonder how Orin also. I mean, I can stay as shielded, or there is like an adaptive fighting style that is like shielded.
Yeah.
but it's not like so baked into my character anymore. But maybe I'll keep
Gotcha.
it that way.
Yeah.
I think I can then go to dueling, or I can go to something else.
Mhm.
But
This-
I
I
did
mean-
like having, I wonder how it's going to shift.
Yeah.
And we haven't put in the work yet to like rebuild our characters for point 7. So I don't think we really know. We just have some like
Yeah.
gut reactions off the
Yeah,
video
yeah.
that
Point-
Coach released.
Point 7, I feel like feels like it's just the most complete version of the alpha, and then now we're getting into like beta. He's got plans of new things for like point 9 and point 10,
Point
10,
10.
and I know, which is the same thing, but
That's just
numbers.
Point 1?
No.
Wait,
That's
it's
not,
one.
that's not how
It's
versions
1.0.
work. That's not in computer in like version talk. That's not how
That's
that
true.
works. Yeah. So like, yeah, and I think that I don't know. It just feels like a very transitional version of the game at this point because it's like about to
Like
get
a
up.
pretty monumental transition.
Yeah, it's about to get into a lot more
Like,
like solidified.
Got rid of Scion.
congealed.
Pretty monumental.
Right, but Scion I
Thank
think will end
Vortor.
up feeling like an optional class, and it'll come out eventually. It'll be part of the
Sure
it'll be
it
part
will.
of the game.
I don't think it can go to point 10. I think it goes to 1.0 at that point. I don't think we're going to point 10
Listen,
to be honest.
you could take that up with Alan and Purius. They'll the dungeon coach and
No,
his
I'm
team.
out. If it goes to point 10, I'm done.
Because in
I'm
theory,
willing to put a lot aside.
because in theory, it's 0.9, and then it goes all the way back to 0.1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
I'm not
surprised
starting
if we
over.
see like a secondary supplemental book of DC-20 that'll include like, oh, if you play with this book, it's going to have the official like canon version of the Scion and the Paladin, like some of the optional classes that didn't make it into the original.
Yeah, it'll be
Cut.
like
I'm
like
glad you're manning the chat and I'm not, because I would be so distracted right
Oh,
now.
I
that
mean,
every
I
time
feel-
I see you look at it,
I
I'm
feel
like, oh.
bad that I'm not like, but no, I mean, there's definitely going to be a point 10. It sounds like.
Yeah, point 10. That's how it works.
Will's
That's how
out.
the numbers work.
Yeah.
I
Well,
guess
it's-
I guess
haven't
we're
done- I haven't-
hiring.
I haven't done
Yeah.
any research
We're-
on this, and
we're
I
accepting
don't know why I'm angry
applications.
about
I guess
it.
we're accepting applications for a new player.
And / graphic designer / social media
Mostly that.
expert.
So hit us
Grand
up.
old dwarf has to come in.
I don't know if that's.
I don't know if it's
I'm out.
fiscally responsible for literally anybody to move to Silverpoint.
Yeah, you also
right
need to relocate to our little mountain town here in Colorado.
Couldn't
Or
be any
Denver.
closer.
I live in Denver.
So
and it's-
Or Denver.
Well, I have a lot of options.
Tony will give
Yeah.
you a ride.
I will.
See?
As long as you don't have a day job.
Yeah, don't have a day job. Move here.
Move here, don't have a job.
No,
wait,
don't
no,
have a
this is-
day job.
This is terrible.
On
advice.
Tuesday.
This is
You
the
give
best
terrible-
application that anyone on the internet has ever seen.
Free
We're just
snacks,
laying out our
free
ground
snacks.
rules.
Those snacks
Free
are free.
snacks.
We bring them.
Yeah.
Who brings those snacks?
Mostly Ben.
They just show up, man.
Yeah.
It's magic.
The
It's a
magic
snack fairy.
snack
I mean,
elves.
for
Will,
me, if anybody wants to replace me, free snacks.
Yeah. Yeah, you can buy us a coffee and like buy snacks for the studio. That would be great. Please don't.
Please
send us
don't.
money. That's not the reason.
If you send us money, he's just going to buy more minis.
It's true. Yeah. What is the? Never mind.
What is that sitting up there?
What is that?
I was
It's
thinking. I was
stuff
more
that I
thinking.
bought that I haven't had time
I
to
was-
assemble.
I
To
was
be
more
fair, though,
thinking-
that stuff would have been perfect for
That
the
bronze gate.
Kraken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that looks
like
that's
Kraken
bronze.
Fest.
That is bronze.
That's
Gate.
Kraken
It just- I
Fest.
didn't have time to assemble.
Sorry, you guys, you can't see it, but we'll
Yes.
send a picture. Or
I was actually. Yeah. It's okay.
It's great.
It's okay. Grand Old Dwarf, you don't have to move from Georgia, but.
Yeah.
I'm from Atlanta.
Go to Atlanta.
Yeah. Sandy Springs. I could do it. Come on.
if I can do it, anyone can do it.
This is great. Well, we are past our. Are we going an hour and a half? Or are we going?
I don't know.
we're
We
just
we're
going,
really,
man.
yeah,
We're past
just
the hour
laughing.
mark.
Yeah, no, we've already.
But-
We've,
If we ever get
This
to a
is bonus
Patreon,
time.
though, I do like the idea of the Patreon is you get access to the live stream of the real video of when we record, and then the recording comes out later.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
See
You
our-
definitely get access to that.
to our warm ups.
You can see our warm ups. we do crazy eights and we shake it out. It's pretty great. Anyone who is a theater
And
kid
we do the
will know
what?
that
What's it
is.
called? The worm? What's the
Floss?
worm? The floss? We did
Yeah, we
floss.
taught
at the end.
everyone
I
how to
can't get in
floss.
there.
No, we can't do it.
We taught everybody how to floss.
Warner Robbins. That's where.
Warner Robbins? Do you know where that is? Atlanta boy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
there's a
from
bubble.
Atlanta.
No, there's a
Right.
bubble. There's a bubble. There's a bubble. I have been through Warner Robbins on Bike Ride Across Georgia in 1996.
Oh my gosh.
I think there's a college campus there.
That
Middle,
was That was the year
Middle
the
Georgia.
Olympics
Middle
were
Georgia
hosted in
Tech
Atlanta,
State?
Georgia,
I don't
by the way.
I think. Lots of brick. I'm putting it near Augusta. I'm putting it near Augusta.
I don't know. Will, Marlo wants to see the outtakes.
We all do. We all do.
Marlo, this is as outtakey as it gets, I think.
This is
I'm
honestly
sorry.
pretty
First of all,
close.
I'm sorry.
This is
First of
pretty
all, I'm
much it.
sorry. Yeah, Tony has been posting the outtakes, and
I don't
I
know.
should get them on social.
And
I should.
I caught up one day and then I stopped again, so I need to catch up again. But
I'm
I
happy to
think
go
up to
back.
like 11 right now is on drive. But
We'll just
I mean,
release
here's one. Here's
Just
one right
as
now.
is?
Let's recreate one.
we
Four-
just did.
4 vortorial, corporeal,
4 Vortor corporeal years ago.
swords.
Sword,
Vortor with a forlorn.
Vortor.
Do you
want
want to
Four-
watch that?
I'm not your monkey.
Foretold and the forlorn.
Dance,
about
monkey, dance.
The torpor.
Oh, he's doing
Vortor.
it. Now he's
Vortor,
doing it. Now, he
Vortor,
got it in the
Vortor.
spirit.
Sometimes there's a lot of like our day. Like one of us is like
Spiritual
halfway
or-
through our day of what we're like bitching about or
Sure.
venting about our day.
Yeah, when we come in hot.
When we come, yeah, right when you turn it on, it's like someone's still talking about
The
something.
Cortor, Vortor.
I talk about
Vortor,
Carly Rae a lot.
Vortor. We do a lot of talking about Tony's unhealthy obsession with Carly Rae Jepsen.
If you're watching,
Carly Rae, cut my man a break. Come on.
Just a little bit. Can I be
Lift
your drummer?
that
please?
restraining
That's what I
order
want.
doesn't
I'm
need
in
to
a band
be-
already, but I will
But
gladly
I-
leave them.
But I will drop them so fast.
And they know this already.
Okay.
I've talked to them about
That's
it.
awesome.
We
Like
also
your hall
know that.
pass, your band hall pass. Like,
Yes.
hey, look, if I get this call,
They're
I'm
like,
out.
dude, if you get that kind of gig, like, we understand.
The campaign's going to come to a swift end as soon as Tony gets hired by Carly Rae Jepsen.
I can
to be-
just
edit.
be-
I can edit on the
We'll just
tour
be
bus.
accepting applications for a new
Another
actor.
application.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Shit.
Number one,
Ben,
you
are
must.
you leaving anytime
it's just
soon?
Ben and Max
No.
now.
Number one, you must know Frisky Dingo.
Yeah. Does anybody
has
else watch Frisky Dingo other than us? Probably not. at
Probably
this point.
not. There was that one. We had that one guy during Beyond the Fae that came in and was like, dude, Frisky Dingo. And it was like my
Yes.
best friend. And then he disappeared off the face of the
If
earth.
you are a Frisky Dingo fan and a TTRPG fan, and you haven't found
It's a
PeakD&D
circle.
channel yet, if you haven't found this,
Tiniest
You're
sliver
about
of
to-
Ben.
This,
Those are
like,
those
Well-
are two circles about 8 miles apart.
I mean,
and I'm in the middle just confused.
I disagree because like all Julius' whole shtick is like trying to find the overlap between the hippies
That's
and
true.
the TTRPG
Very
fans.
true.
And this is Adult
like-
Swim? Is this Adult
Yeah.
Swim?
So this was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Reed and what's his name, Thompson something, Matt Thompson, who went on to make Archer,
Who
which
everybody
was a
watches.
much more successful show. On Adult Swim, they had it was when they were working for William Street, which did a lot of different like
In
shows
Atlanta.
those days.
In Atlanta.
Yep, you know what?
Georgia.
You're right.
Right at the end?
Yeah, yeah, made in Georgia.
With the
And,
peach.
they made a show called Frisky Dingo that essentially had the
Yeah,
prototype
was-
of Sterling Archer.
Well, if you guys could see
Yes.
this chat, Marlo, I literally watched Frisky Dingo because of you guys and
Yes!
loved it.
Yes.
So we
New
have
best
done-
friend.
We have done our job,
Yep.
folks.
Yep. So there was Frisky
Dead
Dingo
center of the state.
is one of the more quotable
But it's off.
shows.
It's off HBO Max now.
I just want to tell the story because
Sucks.
Marlo's the only other person in
Yes.
the world who can appreciate this.
Awesome.
But I'm at
Oh, yes.
I'm
Yes.
at a little league baseball game, slightly hungover, watching my friend's
Sounds like me on
kids
Saturday.
play. And this kid steps up to the plate, and on the back of his jersey, it says Cruise. And I'm sitting there, kind of paying attention, and then all of a sudden, everyone in the stands around me on this team is like, come on, Xander. Come on, Xander. You can do it. You can do it. And I'm sitting there just like, you're fucking
This
kidding
can't
me.
be
Like,
real right
There
now.
is no way this is happening. And it turns out, like, his mom is sitting next to me. And so the whole time I'm like, dude, there's like, this has to be an accident. Like, there's no, I mean, I text you.
You did.
I don't text you because you don't care. And
There's a kid at bat named
No,
Xander
no,
Cruz.
but I literally,
No, when he
so-
texted me, I was like, why isn't this in the group chat?
It's because Will, it's not in
Yeah.
the group chat.
There's lots of stuff I don't know about in the group chat.
But so then, by the end of the game, I'm like, all right, look, does the name Frisky Dingo mean anything to you? And just this blank stare
She
from
had
this
no
woman.
idea.
No.
She had no
And I was
idea.
like, all right, well, it turns out your son's named after, like, he shares the name with his main character. She's like, what? Get out. But
Don't watch it. Don't go watch it.
Don't let your child watch it.
damn it, Marlo, I met a Xander Cruz.
It
and
was-
it blew my mind.
Well, you met his mom.
I mean, I said hi to
You
the
saw
kid.
him play
Oh, okay.
baseball. That's
Yeah, I
closer
see.
than anybody else.
Couldn't get any closer.
Sorry, that was my little aside.
I love it when I meet somebody named Stan, which doesn't happen that often.
It's true.
But every
love when
time I'm like, Stan.
I love when I met somebody named Killface.
That better not be forward. That's what you're reaching up.
It was so great. The second DM LayerCon, Pensacola.
Yeah.
We played that
Oh, yeah.
round robin bullshit game at the end, and we were all
Oh, yeah.
slap happy. And I got a what are they
It
called?
was
Not a
character sheet?
Gigantor.
Well,
That's
now
a
that's all I
pizza.
can think of. A Goliath.
I got a Goliath whose name was Kill 'em Dead.
Kill
or
'em all or
Kill 'em
something
all.
like that.
And then I like kept reading all the sets. I'm like, this is Killface.
It really was.
So I got to play Killface. It was great, beautiful. Didn't I have
And
like
it
a
was-
pet? I had a pet at some point.
You,
Pet weasel.
you had a weasel, a giant weasel that we found.
Like,
in
come on.
It was like this weasel.
Reeks. Anyways,
That was so great. That was my favorite. And
that was
nobody
my
got to
that was
see
my
it,
Xander Cruz. When I got handed a character sheet, I'm like, this is literally
This is
Killface.
except the people that like, yeah.
It was so much fun.
And I played. Essentially, I was. What's that
You were
guy's-
Dip Dugan.
It was essentially Dip Dugan, but it reminded me of that robot from Phineas and Ferb
Oh.
who hangs out with Dr. Doofenshmirtz. And it's like Bob
Those
the
are-
robot. I think
Those
his
are made
name's
up
just
words.
Bob. No, what's his name? Get in the comments. But
Nobody's gonna.
nobody's gonna know. Everyone
That's
knows.
actually probably a easier
Oh,
reference
then
than
sure,
Frisky
sure,
Dingo.
sure.
Yeah, he's like
Definitely.
he's a robot and he talks like this. Like,
But it
he's-
basically, to me,
he's
was
like a
Dip
dude in a
Dugan.
suit. Yeah, it was basically sort of a news
It
reporter.
was hilarious.
Like I was just a fighter. I don't even remember.
It was really funny. That was a good.
Luke
time.
let me play that character, and that character
Just a
was
fighter.
one
You
of
and-
two characters.
You and
that made
Ed.
it. Me
You and
our
Ed
good-
lived the whole time. I think I went through 6.
Our buddy Ed Robinson and I both.
I just
lived
kept dying.
to the end.
I
So-
died at the front door and just like,
So we
all right,
s-
here we go. Let's
yeah.
bring them on.
And at one point, we just stopped learning everybody's new characters' names, and everyone was Dave. And so
Yeah.
we became our
Right.
company. Our adventuring
Daves?
party was the Daves.
Everyone is
It's
Ken.
just everyone is Dave. Everyone, is Ken. Bringing it back to Frisky Dingo. There you
Always
go.
goes back to Frisky Dingo.
Everything. Whoop.
And I was,
Oh,
yeah, I was running
so
around the
exciting.
whole dungeon
Off
just
the line.
acting like Killface. It
Oh,
was
and
great.
Dave Blake shows up with a harumph.
Oh, harumph.
No,
Dave.
Get your own.
No
I
one
was jonesing for a chick parm.
It's never revealed why they're like cannibal
What, they're
clones. Anyways,
Many unanswered questions.
I'm sure our audience has a lot of unanswered questions now.
I
Yes.
can be the face of the.
Except for
audience.
Marlo. Marlo knows everything we're talking about.
Yep. Marlo knows everything. If you don't get on it, watch Frisky Dingo.
Somehow. It's not on HBO Max anymore. But
Yeah, I think you can watch
maybe
it on
Hulu.
Amazon Prime. Yeah, I forget where it is now.
Yeah,
But now I
Find
just,
it on the 7 Seas.
I'm so glad that I'm so glad that I still have the DVDs somewhere, like downloaded on a hard drive.
That's how I got introduced to Frisky
sure.
Dingo was in a
You have the
van driving to Texas.
We-
You have
we
the
had a
DVDs.
TV.
You have the DVDs downloaded to a hard drive.
No. Oh.
You have the
You have the
I have
legit
you have the
physical
DVD
DVDs
copies, yeah.
I think I have.
that we put in a minivan DVD
Season
player,
one
and I got to
of
watch them
DVD.
all the way to Texas.
It was great
2 hours and 20 minutes of your life. Best 2 hours I've ever had.
in a van with 0 brake pads.
So it took 2 hours. It took 2 hours to get to Texas.
It worked out.
No, it's
16
just the
hours.
best 2 hours
Oh.
of the 16
Oh,
hours.
no.
Yep, it was great. It was great.
See, Marlo's got the legit physical DVDs.
What?
They're out there.
That's
That's
awesome.
great.
They're
I gotta
out there.
find 'em.
But how do you play them now? I literally have no way to play all the DVDs.
It's
that I
true.
have.
Which
Literally
is really
no
funny
way.
because I had this conversation, but about CDs with one of my musician friends, and he said that like he's heard and talked to some Gen Zs that like want tape cassettes and CDs now. I'm like, one, how do you play them? Because like
My car
no
still has.
car has a CD. No new car has a CD card anymore. Because I got my Corolla and it did, and I ripped that thing out and put a Bluetooth in like instantly.
Your car doesn't have a CD player.
I doubt it.
Not
Oh.
the new one. My old one had a tape player. Though.
Yeah.
2016 though.
My Hyundai is the 2020, doesn't have one.
My truck has a CD player.
There you
but
go.
That's it. It might.
So
and the
it's
car
still around,
before
but I'm
that
saying
had a
like
tape.
Gen Zs when
Yeah.
they start driving, they're probably not. I don't know. They could be getting.
If
one
it doesn't
with
have
CD.
AirPlay,
maybe they
they're
are
not gonna-
searching for used cars with CD players now in
CarPlay.
order to play their
What do
CDs
they call it?
because they won't know the woes of
That's
having
the
the
cheapest
huge
way to play
fucking
a CD.
album in their lap while driving,
like,
trying to change CDs.
What about like the
Taking
six
a
disc
hard left,
changer
and
in the
all the discs come out of the visor. Come
the
on,
six
man.
disc changer in the trunk where you had
Yeah.
to like stop and,
and
like,
put them all
literally
back in?
pull over?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's
You had to-
coming
I had
back.
to-
Apparently,
I had to reach
it sounds like
under
that
my
might be coming
seat.
back.
Oh, okay. So
Or
Sling,
yeah, under your seat.
Hulu, and YouTube.
Oh, I guess
great.
YouTube you could probably. Find.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I just liked it HBO Max because I had it for a while. I was like, it's literally awesome.
Tune in for all your
And-
Frisky Dingo content.
And 96 disc binders.
Maybe that's
So
what we should do.
yes.
Yep.
Just 2 hours and 20 minutes of us just quoting Frisky Dingo all the way through.
There's someone. There should be. We've talked about this before, and I think it's a pipe dream of mine. But we need
yeah,
to do
it
a
is a pipe dream.
supercut of all of our content of any Frisky Dingo reference.
That's what I was
Okay.
bringing back. Like, if that
Yeah.
person exists that loves TTRPGs and loves Frisky Dingo, and that
Single-
supercut,
And the
Single
8 miles apart,
person.
he's going to grab both Venn diagrams and just pull them together.
Like bringing worlds
and it'll be
together.
it'll be that person's favorite
And
video.
that
of
is
the
going to be
internet.
our like 2 million hit video. It's going to be awesome.
And
That's
it's going to
gonna
be
do it.
awesome. All right, so we're almost at an hour and a half.
All right.
I think we should wrap it up.
I have no questions that can take us back from where we have just been journeying.
See, and if this is the kind of
Throw-
outtakes, if this
I
is the
throw my
ready
interview
repartee
questions
that you
out.
want, this is what the outtakes are.
It's the kind of witchy
It kind of
repartee
is.
we like over at Scion.
Which, by the way, I don't know how. I do know how. I've been actively not saying it.
Sure.
But Scion,
Scion,
DC,
Scion,
Scion. Every time you
DC.
say Scion or Psionics or something, I'm like, I just want to say Scion TC.
It made it into the short.
It did.
Yeah.
And
It
that's
did.
all that matters. But
Uh,
we literally made a whole
Shtick.
character or chapter arc of campaign 2, literally about Frisky Dingo. That's what was funny.
It was great. It was great.
But we haven't like done any Scion TC
Yeah.
stuff.
nope.
So we did a live stream this week. We're back to regular gameplay next week.
I wouldn't call it regular.
Oh.
We're playing Capture the Flag next week.
We
Oh,
are
that's
playing
right.
Capture
Oh,
the
We
Flag.
capture
next
the
week.
flag.
And aren't we all in the greatest and best of shape?
You got a good night's sleep.
We are. We're fine.
You didn't sleep.
You don't know that yet.
You're not currently sleeping.
I am not currently sleeping.
I'm currently
I am out with
playing with a
Paterial and
plant.
Nathaniel.
I'm on mushrooms.
You're tripping balls with a plant.
And
Nathaniel
Nara
without the
is
nut.
getting a good night's sleep. What's Anara
Anara
doing?
is sleeping. She's trancing.
Elf
She only
trance.
needs 4 hours. That's how elves are.
It'll go great. It'll go great.
It's gonna go fine. We're real excited about it. So and I,
May or
I
may
guess
not
we
be
should
a
bring
day
it
for
back
you of Kraken
to
Fest.
Peak DC 20. That we're really excited for Alan and the Kickstarter's just going awesome. Thank you all. I'm sure all of
So
you are
cool.
supporters. If you haven't been telling everybody that you know, like, please get the word out. I mean,
And their mom.
we are nearly 12,000 backers strong, I think, for
Wild.
the Kickstarter. It's
That's
wild, the reach this thing is
awesome.
having, and like what Alan has done is
So
truly, truly amazing. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We know Alan's not live streaming, so that's very fortuitous for us. We're glad y'all stuck around and hung out
So cool.
with
Thanks
us,
for
and we'll
coming.
be back next week. Nope. With a
Well,
new
with a-
gameplay. I went to my other podcasting mode. Are you wearing the crown?
You went into the Dip Dugan mode.
Yep, I did.
We will be crowned kings
And we'll
of
see you
Kraken
next
Fest.
week
Thanks for
on
joining us
PeakD&D.
here at the Peak.
Now
I gotta
someone
go
has to turn off the
stream.
stream.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone who showed up in the chat.
Leave the audio on for 10 minutes.
At least.
Leave
At
the
least 10
audio
minutes.
on for 10
Well, I
minutes.
couldn't turn it off.
100
before.
years. 100 years. 100 years, Morty.